All right, guys. How's it going, everyone? We are getting ready to start another match today. I believe the 5th match on the live stream table at Hard Times Billiards for Q Sports International's 18th annual Jay Swanson Memorial Tournament here, a.k.a. the Swanee. And this is Daniel. I'm sitting here with none other than Ozzy Reynolds. Hey, Ozzy.
Hey, Daniel. How are you?
I'm doing great. Enjoying the opportunity to be here once again, and you know, at the Swanee tournament, this lively crowd, and you know, just a stable of regulars that you never see unless it's this event.
Yeah, and I'm a newbie. I'm a former East Coast guy. Always watch this on the stream from time to time, but never had the privilege of attending. But here I am. I moved to Vegas a little less than 2 weeks ago, and heard that this event was coming up and didn't want to pass it up. Only about 3.5 hours away, so here I am.
Yeah, that's right. You live in Las Vegas, and I want to congratulate you because you have just basically taken over. Is it Director of Operations for CSI, or
well, right now,
President of Operations, or what's
right now my title is manager.
Okay.
Mark Griffin is still the CEO of CSI, but and David Vanderberg is still the Chief Operating Officer.
All right.
But basically, the plan for me is to get in, learn how CSI is structured, help direct their future initiatives, and at whatever time Mr. Griffin decides to step aside, I will be his replacement.
I see.
As CEO of Q Sports International. So
wow.
I'm excited for the opportunity.
Yeah, big shoes to fill, Ozzy.
Well, yeah, I don't know. He's about a size 7. It's not too bad. He's a little guy.
But you know, you come from a fairly healthy pool-related background, from what I know from our brief conversation. That you started and you ran the Action Pool Tour, and you still have the Action Pool Tour, right?
That's right. Yeah, back in 2011, I started the Action Pool Tour, but you know, I was a pool junkie well before then. I've been playing since I was a kid, 8 years old. Always loved pool. I'm not a pro by any stretch of the imagination, but from time to time I can sneak up on those guys.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Schuff and Duchesne and some others have found that out. But
no kidding.
But you know, they much better than me. I would probably classify myself as, you know, on the East Coast we might say semi-pro. The West Coast, it seems to be shortstop is the term.
Yes.
Never heard that till I got here.
That's a huge word that's tossed around here.
Yeah, never heard that till I got over here. But anyway, started the Action Pool Tour, and that's actually when Mark Griffin and I came to know one another. He did some sponsorship for the tour with the Magic Rack. And we sort of kept in communication over the last couple years, and reached out to me one day, and here I am. So excited for the opportunity, and only been there a week, but hit the ground running, so pretty thrilled.
Yeah, well, and you're already getting exposure, and that's good, and I congratulate you, you know.
Thank you.
And like I said, you know, big shoes to fill. There's a lot of well, pool's emerging in a weird sort of way again. I mean, I think it's gained a lot of traction in the mainstream world again, but it's not without its growing pains either.
Well, you know, and really I think what you're talking about is pro pool. Really, I think
exactly.
I think amateur pool is alive and well, to be quite honest, but pro pool is in a severe state of disarray right now, and I won't pretend, and I don't think Mark Griffin would pretend to have all the answers. But I think sometimes things have to hit rock bottom before they start to get better.
Is this to 6, guys? To 6? Race to 6. Sorry to interrupt you there. I would agree. I would agree with you. It's somewhat fractured, and I think really the secret is for us to all just push through, be positive, and have faith in the process, and let it have its growing pains where they're going to be, and just be the best person you can be throughout it all. You know, try to be a mentor, you know, and be a role model.
Well, yeah, that's a start. And if you talk to many people, they automatically, when you talk about what is it going to take to fix pro pool, people always jump on that easy answer of, well, the promoters should work together instead of against each other. And I would agree with that. But there's also one key ingredient I think people are missing. The promoters and the players have to work together. Way too much animosity out there. And until those two entities come together to do something positive, I think you're going to have the state of disarray that we have today.
I'm out.
That's true. There's a lack of cooperation, I guess, in different parts of the professional community. So, but other than that, I mean, besides all that, you know, it doesn't help to identify the problem and just, you know, keep identifying it
and never do anything about it.
Really, to provide a solution is what needs to happen.
Yep. And I think, you know, with the emergence of the internet and pool streaming, if you ask some people, they'll say that it hurt pool. I think it's actually helped from an exposure standpoint. You have a lot of regional tours like mine that do free streams all the time. And yeah, you're not going to get world champion players on those, but it helps put high caliber pool in front of people for no charge. So I think that's a good step. What you're doing and some of the other streamers out there, I think, is a real positive thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, from my experience, not just the pros either, but some of these people that dream of becoming pro or aspire to the pros and actually look up to the pros, really value the exposure that they get from the free live streams. You know, I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and said, thank you. I never saw myself playing pool before, and it's really helped my game, you know. And I think that's a real big deal, you know, because pool is one of those games. People will tell you practice, but being able to see yourself play is another tool in your bag, you know.
All right, it looks like these players are about to get started.
Yep.
Who do we have here?
Stacy Novack, and she is from, I believe she's from Orange County, and she is known locally as the Audrey Hepburn of pool.
Audrey Hepburn of pool.
You know, she's always a class act, and loves to dress up when she comes to play, and she's got a lot of style. I like her very much. It's been over a year since I've seen her.
You're on table number 17. Emil and Henry on table 17.
And she's a pretty strong female player. So I don't know how well Jim is hitting them these days. He's from San Diego.
And I can tell you, talking about strong player, from experience of playing on these tables today, they are absolutely brutal. These tables will humble a very good player.
This table is definitely a.
They're not only are they tight, and I don't mind tight pockets, but you know it's not brand new cloth, so they play a little bit slower. So some of your shots you got to hit with pace, and it'll spit them out in a heartbeat. I've seen a lot of good players miss some pretty routine shots today.
Yeah, not to mention it gets humid in here. The balls get sticky. Just about anything adverse in pool playing conditions can happen in this room. Didn't know Stacy was and also the balls can be different sizes too. I think that's what she's looking at right now. I'm not racking them tight.
You know, I've always kind of chuckled at people playing with the rack. They get up the rack and they just play with it. And I, trust me, I know the value of a tight rack.
Yeah.
But as insane as Earl Strickland can be sometimes, he actually said something one time that I agree with him wholeheartedly. He said, stop playing with the rack. Just rack them and break. And he would rack. He wouldn't even look.
Yeah,
he just throw the balls up there, take the rack off, go to the other end of the table, and smash them as hard as he could. And I like that rather than playing with the gaps.
Yeah, that's like
and
Rodney Morris is the
making
same
sure
way,
you
too.
get the wing ball. And just the break, in my mind, and we probably should tweak the rules so that it's more like this. The break should be a means to scatter the balls, not a means to make a wing ball and leave yourself a shot on the next one and pattern rack and get a good shot. You know, just break the balls, kind of the random pattern that they end up laying and play pool. That's what I'm in favor of.
Well, you get arguments against that, too. You know, a lot of people will say, you know, if someone can pattern rack and break and run, I'd like to see somebody else try to do that. That's not easy either, you know. Anyway. So here we are, first rack, and Stacy's got ball in hand. Looks like Jim, I didn't catch the shot there. She looks like she's going to come a rail across and play the two in the same corner pocket.
Does anybody know Henry? Henry Brock, he needs to get to table 17. Henry.
And that's a pretty good position. And I think that 5-6 is dead, so.
All right, now what she'd like to do here is hit this 3 ball with some inside. Come inside between the 7 and the rail.
Yep, and that would be perfect angle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for that 5-6, it is dead, but you got to think about where the 5 is going to be when you shoot it. If
Right,
you have
what angle you want to come across it at.
Yep. If it were me, I'd probably want to be right about in the middle of the table. Shoot the combo, let the 5 bounce off the rail just a few inches. And then you've got this. Now, she elected to go on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's fine, too. In my mind, a tad risky, but it's fine. I don't like sliding away from my position. I like going into it.
She's going to come across, she's going to come at this straight on.
Yeah. Now, the reason I don't like this is because she's got to hit it hard and with draw.
Yeah.
And she'll probably end up fine because it is so straight. But bad things can happen when you do that. Just like that.
Yeah. Well, now she's got a reach problem.
Yep. Whereas if she had done it the other way, she'd have been in the middle of the table.
Right. She would have stayed at a cutting angle. She needs to stun this carefully now, and not end up in a situation where she's got to back cut the ball. So she just has to hit this real soft, and she's going to have to back cut the ball.
Nicely hit, but now you're back cut. So once you get out of,
she's bridging over.
Once you get out of line, you can come with 3 or 4 really nice shots. But it seems like you just keep getting further and further out of line when that happens.
Yeah.
Next up, table 25. Most anticipated match, Mark White and JD. JD and Mark White at table 25.
Now, I got the feeling she played that intentionally.
Yeah, I think.
24, Neil Meyer and Don Appel.
I think she was ducking out of that shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Neil Meyer on table 24.
Now, ideally, she would have liked to got behind the 9 ball. But she still left a tough shot. Now these tables are playing so tight. You know, he's looking at this ball like he wants to cut it. The way these pockets are cut, I would not go for that.
Yeah, I agree. But but do you like what safety do you like here?
I like hitting the 7 into the rail and laying it back on the other rail right where the chalk is. The chalk that's down there near the cue ball now.
Yeah. Well, he made the ball.
Made a really good shot on it. That's a tough shot on this table.
Yeah. Well, he's got another one coming too.
Yeah. Now here I'd duck again. I'd just lay the 9 ball back on this end rail.
Right by the nameplate there of the table. Looks like he's going to do that. No.
And he's sold out.
Oh. It's funny how in the beginning of a match, people feel, I've seen it before, they feel like they can take bigger risks in the beginning of a match, but it's so deceptive because the game really creeps up on you. Next thing you know, you're down 3-4 games.
Well, in a race to 6, that's huge. That's a short race.
Uh-oh.
Never scratch on these pockets, not like that.
Yeah. All right, that's going to be Stacy on the wire first.
I will say, for everybody watching at home, you may see some shots missed that you think they're just bad shots. I've been playing pool quite a while, and I will say these are the smallest pockets I've ever played on. And
Bustamante said this is the toughest table he's ever played on in his life.
For all my friends back home that played on my table, which was quadruple shimmed, these are tighter.
Yeah. Whenever Tang Ho gets called to play on this table, he says, I do not want to play on that table.
Well,
don't let me.
Not to spread rumors, but I was told that Shane Van Boning passed on this event
because of
the table.
Yeah. Really?
Someone told me that this table made him look like a mediocre player last year. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the word that I caught.
Oh, okay. He could have talked to me. I got pull here. I could pull some strings, man. I can make it happen.
Yvonne Asher. Sean and Yvonne on table 17. Brings the 6.
We got our chat online. Doug Carter says, Ozzy, did you sell your table? Yes, I did. A buddy of mine from back east, Doug Carter, on our chat.
Oh, great.
He participated in the Virginia State 10-ball championships, I believe, is where we met. Doug, hope you're doing well.
So for those who don't know out there, why don't you tell the audience where you got the accent?
That's a Virginia-grown accent. I've been fighting that my whole life. You know, it's actually been
You should just embrace it. Don't worry about it.
No. I have fully embraced it. It's actually worked to my advantage over the years because most people that I interact with, as soon as I talk, they jump to the conclusion that I'm not very intelligent. So I'll play that role for a while and then get what I want out of you and move on. But
the girls must think you're a real sweetheart too, though.
Well, I'm married, so that's probably the only woman in the world that would think that. But yeah, the southern drawl is going to stick probably for the rest of my life, but that's okay. I do, Daniel, you don't know a whole lot about me, I don't think. I do have a business background, which is another reason that Mark contacted me. I have a bachelor's degree in management, a minor in civil engineering technology, and an MBA from the College of William and Mary.
Oh, wow.
All that with a southern drawl.
That doesn't, it really doesn't matter.
Doug Carter wants to know how many players we had. We filled up at 192.
192, yeah. Brandon Schuff is here. I don't know about Brandon Shoot, though.
Must be a typo.
Oh, I hate these kind of racks. I mean, I like the safety game.
You know, it depends on who you're playing.
But there you go. One shot can just open it all up for your opponent. Yep. If you're not careful.
But, you know, even though he's got a shot on the 2 here, I'm telling you, the way these pockets are playing, this is not a guaranteed out. This is still pretty tricky.
I think is he riding the 9? No.
Yeah, he'd have to be extremely desperate to go for that.
Do you happen to know what at least the first 4 payout positions are? We're going to have to find out pretty soon.
Yeah, I do not. We'll have to check on that.
I think it'll be around 3,000. I think that's what it usually ends up being here. First place, 3,000. I think it's a $16,000 prize fund. Maybe a little bit more, 16.5 or something.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
For an $88 investment, you can't beat that. So I see that you have a pretty important match coming up. What, Monday?
Yeah.
Against Lee Brett.
Pretty important to me. Well, you know. I guess, you know, when you put your life on the social networks, you better come with it, you know what I mean? I'm either going to look back on this as the biggest embarrassment of my life or the most mediocre embarrassment of my life. It's either way, there's going to be a slight embarrassment.
Well, if the biggest embarrassment in your life is on the pool table, you've done okay.
That's true, actually. That's true. And I've been through some embarrassing moments on the pool table.
Yeah, we all have.
But, you know, I feel comfortable. Lee's a good player. I feel very comfortable. This is my house, you know. I got many friends and associates that'll be watching and rooting for me, so I won't feel like a stranger in a strange land. And Lee's going to have that pressure right away. He's a strong player. He's a successful coach, and I'm going on what I know, which is that I played him a year ago for 4 hours and we broke even.
That's pretty strong.
So that's what I'm going on, and I thought it might be nice to just kind of. To tell you the truth, I figured I'd woof at him online. I didn't think he'd take me seriously. Next thing you know, I got Jay Helfert calling me up. You know you're in trouble when that's happening.
See, my buddy Doug on the chat, he wants to know if I'm going to go to Lynchburg, Virginia next month for the bar table event. Doug, I don't think I'm going to be able to make that 2,400-mile journey. I'm a Vegas guy now, but the Action Pool Tour, as you can see, is still going strong. I'm managing that from a distance, and I'm not the tournament director anymore, obviously, but I'm still the guy behind the scenes. When you send an email through the website or anything of that nature, I'm the guy you're talking to. I'm just not at the tournaments anymore, but who knows, I might make a surprise visit every now and then.
So, the boss is here, look busy, that kind of thing. Whoop, who just walked in?
Actually, the new tournament director is the guy that's been my assistant for over 2 years.
How big is the tour, by the way?
Well, I guess it depends on what you define as big. If you want to talk current members, I'm not real sure. Haven't looked at that in a while. We've probably had 1,500 to 2,000 different players compete over the last couple years.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
If I had to guess at the current membership, I'd say maybe 500. You know, because you do have the option to just pay the one-time fee and not become a yearly member.
Right, right.
And a lot of people do that, you know, can't commit every month, or maybe they're just in town on some freak coincidence. But our turnouts, the last event we had 71. The one before that we had, 90, 80, I think. Not sure about the East Coast, but on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, that's a pretty big turnout for a regional tour. By comparison, one of the only other, well, I guess there's 2 tours. One's handicapped, so I don't count that. The other one is a tour up in the Northeast. They might get 25 to 30 players. So, pretty big difference.
Yeah, that is a big difference. Are you, I think I asked you this in Las Vegas. Didn't I ask you if you're going to the Super Billiards Expo at all? Or?
Yeah, I think you did ask me that. I'm not sure. That's what,
decided.
end of March, I think that is?
I think it's
third week of March.
13 through 16.
Okay, second week of March.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely going to Reno next week for the U.S. Bar Table Championships.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where they're going to have the one pocket, too.
Yep.
And the World PPA, is that a 3,000 added shootout they got going?
I'm not sure about that. I'm primarily concerned about the Bar Table Championships, 8-ball, 9-ball, and 10-ball.
Okay.
And then the U.S. Open one pocket will be held in conjunction.
Yeah.
Those are CSI events, and I'll be there sort of overseeing that, making sure everything's going okay. Beyond that, don't have any plans yet. We'll see what the schedule holds.
Now she came close there. Gave up ball in hand. But, you know, kicking at that ball, I might have kicked it a little harder anyway, because even if she would have connected, she would have maybe left a shot. So you want to make a separation there between the cue ball and the object ball. Now, the Bar Table Championship is the 21st through the 24th? No,
the week before that.
Actually, this morning when I was building my show, I had a flyer for it.
And look at that, Daniel. He has ball in hand, slow rolls it, catches the point, hangs the ball in the pocket. He actually hit that so bad, I'm not sure it would have went on a bucket table.
Which is, Jay Helford?
Yeah.
Do you not know what he looks like?
No, he was here, but he had to go to one of those cars. I talked to him. I told him I was going to give him this, but I don't know where he went. So I told him if I couldn't find him, I'd give it to you. So make sure he gets it, please.
Thank you, Chris. Chris Santana checking in with me. See you, Chris. He's a great guy.
Wow, look at that. Stacy misses the shot, slops it into the side, and she's perfect on the 8-ball. She really needs to play position for the 9 in the side. I would not fool with these corner pockets if I didn't have to.
No.
She tried, but she didn't put enough inside English on that ball.
Oh, no. That's tragic.
That's what we call on the East Coast an ice cream cone.
An ice cream cone.
Yep. 2 scoops.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that. I steal people's material, by the way, just so you know. I'm going to warn you now.
Another guy used that term on me when I got double dipped in the finals of one of my tournaments. He sent me a text message. He said, "You want to go get some ice cream?" I said, "What?" He said, "2 scoops, double dipped." There we go, 24th to March 2nd.
Isn't that, oops, sorry about that. I did not mean to display that right away, but I usually have these assets prior to my show, but like I said this morning I was having some computer issues, but then decided I'll see if I can just plug through it, you know, and then found myself shutting the stream down for half an hour doing some updates.
All right, Stacy puts down that 9 ball. That's 2-0.
Yeah, so there it is. It's the 2014 U.S. Bar Table Championships on the 24th through March 2nd at the Grand Sierra. 25-250 added, huh? And there's a women's and men's division. If you guys are all planning on going, here's some more of the details. And, you know, also you can go to playbca.com.
Playbcapool.com.
Pool.com and playcsipool.com as well.
You can go to either one, sign up online. And I believe the late fees have kicked in for that, if I'm not mistaken. The only thing that's going to kill me with that event is I'm not going to be playing. So I'll probably walk around and have that itch all week.
You know, it's funny. I'm not playing this event, and I usually play the Swanee. I'm not really itching. Not really itching. It's actually good to take a break.
Yeah, well, I've had one, and that's part of the problem with the move out here that really stifled my pool time.
So how long have you lived in Las Vegas now?
Oh, I'm a veteran now. It's been 11 days. Yeah, I know the city inside and out already.
Yeah, wait till summertime.
Yeah, you know, I've been putting some Facebook posts for all my friends back east because they've been getting dumped on with snow for 2 solid weeks. I put a post up a couple days ago. Did you see it?
No.
Did you see my post? I put it up there. I said,
We must be friends on Facebook already, aren't we?
if we're not, we will be
Okay,
before this
yeah,
weekend is
there you
over.
go.
But I put on there, to all my friends back east, I want everyone to know how terrible today was. This was about 2 days ago. I said I was driving home from work, and I was on the verge of breaking a sweat. I had to roll up my truck windows and turn the air conditioning on. 78 degrees, ... terrible.
Man, you must have gotten threatening phone calls after that.
There was some colorful posts in response to that. But one guy in particular, he said, "Keep talking, sweat boy. July's right around the corner."
That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, I find myself talking to people out of state all the time, and they always, "Where are you calling from? California?" "Yeah." "How's the weather?" "I don't want to tell you." I always tell them, "I don't want to tell you." Because it's horrible right now. Everywhere else in the world. I mean, if it's not ice storms, it's volcanoes, man. There's like the world's going crazy.
You know, it's funny, Daniel. I'm 35 years old, and I know that's relatively young, but I've lived in Virginia my whole life, and moving to Nevada is a huge change. I mean, everything's different. The climate is different. The people are different. Everything is just completely different. I have no issue. I've had no issues whatsoever so far transitioning in.
Yeah.
And what makes it even better is my family is really happy. They love it there. So.
Well, I just have 3 words. Wait till summer.
Well, that won't be. It might be a problem for me. It won't be a problem for my wife. Because when it falls below 90 degrees, she's freezing.
Okay.
So she's 90 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah,
she loves the heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, I'll just stay inside.
I don't want to start feeling guilty here because I know we're sweating a match. And Stacy looks pretty wide open here. These are the racks you got to kind of be careful on, though.
You got to be. I'm telling you,
I can't. Careful on.
I can't stress this enough. I mean, on a regular table.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put me on a diamond, which they're considered the tight tables, and this is just connect the dots.
Yeah.
On this table, you better be careful. I mean, it really is brutal. Like this shot right here, this shot is no good.
It's too straight.
Well, it's so straight that in order to come around for the 8-ball, she's got to hit it really hard.
Uh-huh.
And when you hit it really hard into this pocket, it's going to spit it out.
Yeah.
It just is. See, she hit it with a pace to make the ball.
Right.
But she's got no position.
Yeah, she tried to stun out for position, but she just didn't have enough angle to stun out, too, you know.
Lee Brett and I were talking earlier about how tough these tables are playing, and the fact that they are a tad slow, which means you got to hit things a little harder. Mm-hmm. And because of that, instead of leaving the angles you would normally leave yourself, you've got to leave sharper angles on everything and take the cut, just so you can get some speed out of it without hitting the ball too hard. Mm-hmm. You almost have to change the way you play pool.
Yeah, a lot of people like to hit balls hard because they shoot straighter that way. But if you do that on these tables, you'll rattle.
Yep. And see, I'm a shoot soft kind of guy. I mean, I don't like slow rolling every ball, but I like a good medium pace, you know, with some spin to help it along. But you got to leave yourself good angles to do that on this table.
What do you like here?
On this shot, I can't tell if it's frozen or not.
What about just?
But
what about just split the 8? You know, like put the 8 to the side rail and the cue to the other side rail.
I don't like the side rail too much. I do like coming off the left side of the 8 and let it float back to the other end rail. Maybe right about where that chalk is that he just picked up. The side rail scares me because when you're banking across side, if you give him a bank in the side pocket, the side pockets are bigger than the corners. Easier to make and gives you natural
like
position.
This because he looks like he's cutting at the ball.
That's insane.
You know what I also
think he was trying to do your shot.
I also like cutting it a hair thin cut with inside follow just to bring the 8-ball in the middle of the short rail and the cue ball in the middle of the short rail.
That's not a bad option. You just got to be careful not to hit it too thick.
She struck that well. I like that shot. She struck that pretty well.
Next up on table 23, John Schultz and Ed Cohen. Eddie and John Schultz on table number 23. That's a race to 6.
Stacy almost got speaker sharked there.
Now see, most of us, Daniel, we could turn our cue around backwards and make this ball. But you got to bear down on this shot, the way these pockets are cut.
She knows it too. She's actually had logged a lot of time on this table.
Next up on 15, I need Zeke Morrison.
Very, very nice shot.
Good shot. She's all right.
And Zeke Morrison on table 15.
And boy, is she all right. She's up 3-0 now in a race to 6 against Jim Henessey, who seems to be struggling more so than she has. I'm pretty sure, I will have to say that I'm pretty sure that Jim has very little time on this table, where she's logged a lot of hours on this table. She's played Melissa Herndon's Southern Cal Ladies 9-ball tour events that I've streamed actually on this table. She's come in second, I think, possibly won an event here. So she's no stranger to this room. Jim lives in San Diego. He knew Swanee, as far as I know, and you know, he comes up to play the Swanee every year. That's what's great about this tournament. This is a really memorial tournament through and through. You know, it's the same group of folks come up to play to really just pay tribute to Jay.
Yes, somebody asked me earlier why I thought this tournament was so successful, why it continues to fill up every year, even at 192. And I said, well, you know, I didn't know Swanee because I'm an East Coast guy, but it seems to me just the environment here, it's not so much about the tournament as it is a social gathering.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
a reunion, definitely. Every time I do this tournament, it's a reunion.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the Super Billiards Expo has a touch of that as well. It's an event. It's, you know, it's almost like the tournament is secondary to a lot of people. They go to hang out, see friends, chat with the vendors, buy products. It's sort of like a pool player's vacation, and that's really what this event seems to be as well.
Uh-huh. I would think the same about the Genki Sansuchi that I've never been to.
Right,
know?
right.
We have a few of those up here. The Chet Ito Memorial and the Chuck Markoulis, which is next week.
That was actually a nice shot.
Chuck Markoulis actually opened this pool hall in 1988.
And where is that? Is that the Sacramento tournament? Where is that tournament held?
Yes, that's at the Sacramento Hard Times Billiards.
How far is Sacramento from here?
I think it's about 416 miles.
Okay. Good little drive. Although the drive I took
several times.
The drive I took a couple weeks ago makes that seem like nothing.
Oh, did you?
Virginia to Nevada.
Oh, Virginia. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did Montana to Vegas.
Yeah.
That was 16 hours.
And you know, the moving out here, I drove myself. I drove the moving truck, believe it or not.
Okay.
22-foot moving truck loaded to the gills. 2,460 miles. That was rough.
Wow.
4 solid days. Driving about 14 hours a day.
I haven't done that since I drove to Boston when I was 23 to live there in Boston with my girlfriend.
I'm guessing that didn't work out too well since you're here.
Thank God.
Who's in the lead so far?
Well, here we go. The score is 3-0. Stacy Novack's in the lead. She's shooting very well, actually. She's, you know.
Now, I wonder, Daniel, do you know, are we going to have a winter side match here next? Or you're not sure?
I'm hoping so, because actually what I would like to do is I have Jerry Matchin of Sticks Billiards in Ventura, very well-known figure in West Coast pool, will be commentating with Jay Helfert. And if Jerry Matchin gets called for a match, I'm going to have to book his replacement, which might be you.
As long as I'm not playing, I'm on the winter side too.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe we get you up here.
Hey, I don't mind. Won't be
I
the
think
first.
it would be your last match today, and then you'd be set for tomorrow.
Oh, really?
3 matches, yeah.
Oh, that's some motivation to win. Because I would really
I can't imagine it'd be four in the first day.
because I would really like to be done with one more match.
I think they try to get this down to 48. I'm not 100%. I can't remember what they did last year. I think they try to get it down to 48, or I don't want to say 64. I want to say 48.
Next up at 26, and Mike Glenn and Terry Clarity. Terry and Mike are up on table 26.
Doug Carter wants to see you. He wants to see you play here on the stream table.
Doug Carter wants to see me play. Doug, you don't want to see me play. You'll ruin your appetite. What is this, 9 o'clock where you are? Yeah, you probably eaten dinner already. You might be okay. I think I actually played Doug in one of my tournaments. That's how we came to know each other. Doug says, I remember you beat me in Virginia. Doug, you would have been proud of me. I played Mike DeShane in Derby City, 15-ball rotation, raced to 125 and won.
By the way, speaking of rotation.
All right, this is the last call for Henry Brown. Henry, if you're in the building, please come to the front.
I hear that the game of 15-ball rotation might be gaining a little traction in the pool world, thanks to Joe Tucker and also a little bit of Mark Griffin and CSI. Is that correct?
Yeah. Joe Tucker's been kind of the guy on the ground, but it's a sort of a joint venture between CSI and Joe Tucker. And Don Owen from OBQs is also involved. But wow, what a great game! If you've never played it, Daniel, you really ought to try it. It's a version of 15-ball rotation that Joe Tucker came up with called American rotation. And essentially, you rack all 15 balls, and there is a set way to rack. You break, you take ball in hand immediately, no matter what happens. You can even scratch on the break. You get ball in hand, and that kind of goes back to what I said earlier. The break is simply a means to scatter the balls. So you get ball in hand after your break. You get 1 point per ball for balls 1 through 10.
And then 2 for, yeah.
2 points per ball, 11 through 15. So a rack is 20 points. And you'll race to some specified number. During the session, I think it's 150.
Yeah, that's a long session.
It's a long session. So
I actually, just to cut, I don't want to cut you off, but I am familiar with the game. In fact, it was the first time I ever met Joe Tucker, who called me up and asked me if I would stream their very first exhibition of that, and I did with Max Everly and Ronnie Elcano. And we did an exhibition right there on table 6, and it was the day before the Jay Swanson Memorial Tournament 2 years ago. So it's 2 years now, and it looks like things are getting much better quickly.
Yeah, and it was a little slow, a little slower to get going than everyone had hoped. But that's to be expected when you're doing something brand new, a new game. People are sort of resistant to change, no matter what it is. But everybody that has played it has loved it. I haven't heard any complaints. I actually got a group of 8 players together back in Newport News last session to do it, and everybody had a fantastic time.
Well, you can play to 60 points or to 80 points.
Sure, you can. You could
40.
You could do it in a regular double elimination style format and just go to a lower point value.
Yeah.
Another thing, and I'm not a big fan of this, but you can do it, and it has its place. It's very easy to handicap. Very easy to handicap. So it's a terrific game, and I think it's going to do really well and start to take off. And that's kind of why Joe is here. He started on the East Coast, got about a dozen rooms over there with a group of 8 guys playing out of each, and now he's coming over to the West Coast to try to gain some traction here as well.
Well, I've already talked to him and told him I'd be happy to do anything to support that. So, and thank you. I'm glad we're talking about it because it reminds me we got to get Joe Tucker in here too to say hello to the world.
Yep, and he's mulling around the room, and he said he'll be joining you in the booth periodically this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, she's rattled. The ball got rattled.
So for the benefit of everybody out there in Streamland, who are the well-known players that we have here this weekend?
We have Mitch Ellerman, Carlo Beato, Dennis Orcolio,
Mika Immonen,
Max Eberle, Hunter Lombardo, Ernesto, and Oscar Dominguez. Go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to think of some that you didn't mention already.
Louis Ulrich.
Yep. Who I believe lost his first match to Lee Brett.
Lee Brett.
Yep.
Was it his first match?
It was either his first or he got a bye and then lost it.
Okay.
I think it was the first match he played.
Okay. Some of the strong local players we have here are Foch Garcia, Johnny Kang, Frank Almanza. Dave Hema is playing in this event, and he's
Tang
also
Ho.
the
Is Tang
tournament
Ho
director.
here?
Tang Ho came here, but I haven't seen him since this morning.
None of the other Filipinos, huh? Santos Sabahon.
Santos is
here.
Yeah. I know that Efren and I think Bustamante is going to be up at the Chuck Markulis, but I think he had another engagement to go to before that. So, yeah, it's pretty light, Brandon Schuff is here.
Oh, yep. Can't forget Brandon.
No, can't forget Brandon. Brandon is, extremely tough player. Mitch Ellerman, he came in second place here 4 years ago against Alex Pagulayan, losing to him. And that's another thing. Alex Pagulayan is not here. Trying to think if there's a
up to the front.
Sal Butera. Sal Butera is here.
Stacy makes a good shot on a 9 ball, takes a commanding 4-0 lead.
Commanding lead right now.
I think I need about.
Ozzy, when Stacy is on her game, she can be very tough to beat.
I was just telling Ozzy that she's also no stranger to this table. She is tough to beat. Stacy is a strong. She's got a very competitive spirit too. So she's not somebody who'll give up easy.
Ozzy, Daniel and I did a commentary right here a couple of years ago when Brett and Stacy went heel on this table.
Yeah.
Kind of tough to tell who was going to win that. And Daniel, I don't know if you remember, but both the cue ball and the 9 ball went flying off the table when Brooke shot at it.
I don't remember that. There's been so many matches. Chico's telling us about a hill match between Brooke Thomason and Stacy a couple years ago.
And it was the very first time that I did live stream with you, Daniel, right here.
Well, now I'm ashamed. You just made me feel bad that I forgot it.
Vince Shaw, you up front. Vince Shaw, your wife is waiting up front.
Well, Jim, Jim needs to take a stand here.
Now this is charging and it's going down. It was at 35.
Are you sure it's plugged in correctly? It's
lit up like it is.
Yeah. Maybe you got maybe. I don't take the battery out.
I'm saying it's drawing the battery. No, yeah, you can't take it.
So I should ask you, I know you're working for CSI, but traditionally, what have you played on mostly? Are you a Brunswick player or are you a Diamond player?
Well, you know, I've played mostly on 9-foot Brunswicks my whole life because that's what was in my area.
Right, because you did say you've been playing since you were a kid, too.
Yeah, and actually I started out bar table until I was about 19 because that was the only thing available to me.
Right.
And I moved to Newport News, Virginia, and started playing big table. And the pool rooms there all had gold crowns. And to this day, none of the rooms in that area have diamonds. So when I would go to a tournament that had diamonds, quite honestly, I felt kind of lost because they play different. But I've played a lot more on the diamonds from doing my tour, so I'm getting a lot more comfortable with them. And at Derby a few weeks ago, Derby City Classic, that's the most comfortable I've ever been playing on a diamond table, and I played really good.
Okay.
And I can't wait until I buy my house here, buy my house in Nevada and get a brand new diamond table in there. That's what I would prefer to play on. Quite honestly, I usually play better on Brunswicks just because I'm so familiar with them.
Sure. But it sounds like you're becoming a convert.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know, Diamond, in my opinion, has a superior product.
Oh, they're built great.
Yeah, I mean, so it's hard to argue with.
They feel heavier to me, and
Are
are they heavier than a gold, like say a Gold Crown 5 or 4?
And when you say heavy, do you mean literally the weight?
No, it feels to me like a denser table. I think the slate is thicker, isn't it?
I'd be lying if I pretended to know. I don't know.
Okay.
I know that at first I didn't like them because they played so different.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a table expert or two in the audience that in the chat room that can tell us.
There's an everything expert in the audience. There's somebody in the audience that knows everything about something.
I feel like when the balls hit the back of the pocket on a diamond, there's a lot less vibration, so it gives the illusion that the table that you're playing on is really solid. You know what I mean? Like a denser and heavier object.
It's certain even when you look at one, it looks like it's built like a tank.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like it was put together. It looks like it was whittled out of a sequoia or something.
Yeah. We've started something now. People are. You got the Gold Crown lovers in the room.
Gentlemen, I have a question, and maybe one of you two can answer it for me. Is it true, based on your experiences, is the diamond tables a little bit more straighter and balanced more so than the Brunswick or the old housing?
I'm not familiar with old housing. Diamonds are easier to level.
Scott set, table 3. Tommy and Scott, table 3.
You can level a diamond a lot easier than a Brunswick.
Well, I'm not going to give my honest opinion is I like both. I actually like both. I absolutely agree. There's definitely a quality difference between the tables, but I like the quality of both. I just enjoy it.
I like the way both of the tables play. I think Diamond is a superior table because, waiting for the announcements.
Michael Berry and Frank Almonza, Frank the Barber and Mike Berry on table 10.
I prefer the Diamond for a couple reasons. One, they seem to play a little more consistent. When you put it together, there's not a whole lot of shimming and jacking and putting playing cards under one of the legs and that kind of thing. You can level it pretty easy, but also you can get a diamond table in one-piece slate. So you don't have those seams that can do crazy things on you. You know, probably not so much in Nevada where I live now, but on the East Coast, one of the problems I had with my Brunswick table is you would have 2 seams down the middle of the table, and the humidity was awful. So if the humidity in your room went up and down, those seams would actually expand and contract and push the wax up like a little mountain ridge on your table. So back in Virginia, if you didn't keep your room dehumidified at all times, having a seam in your sleep could cause some real problems.
Ah, I see. Well, that's, you know, you're gonna give me the 6 out on pool table knowledge, because that's that's just not, it's not an area, you know, that I have any expertise in.
Yeah, and I don't either. I just I know what I experienced with mine at home.
Yeah.
And I actually at one point got those little mountain ridges across my table, right where the seams were. It would expand and contract with the humidity, and it would push the wax up just like a mountain ridge. And it's an expensive problem to fix.
Well, it sounds like, yeah, it would be.
Next up on table 16, Jay, Katie, and Mitch Ellerman. Mitch and Jay are on table 16. That's a race of 7.
He almost got lucky on the backspin there. The ball turned on the 3rd rail.
Now,
Oh, that was 3-foul rule. She got him on a 3-foul.
yeah, I was getting ready to ask, is there a 3-foul rule in effect here?
Yeah, and it just earned her 5th game in a row. And this is odd because our last match was 7-0. Wasn't it? Jenny Lee beat, I forgot his name. You were just sitting right there. Oh no, was that Hill Hill? Wait a minute.
6'5".
It was 6'5". Oh wait, no. I'm thinking of a match before that. Okay.
Remember Jenny didn't
Oh wait, that was last week. All right, guys. Back to reality.
5-0.
5-0.
Pretty
man.
tough to
That's
claw
pretty
back
brutal.
from that.
That is pretty brutal.
I did make a comment that when Stacy's on the game, she's supposed to remember when I went over and Hollywood Village, Daniel, I don't know if you were there when Hollywood Village used to listen to Swanee.
Who's that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know him. He's done some computer work for me. Just basic cleaning up.
Yeah, that's what I was on the phone with today.
Sharkin says hello. Hello to you too. Daniel, where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah, other than your car or your truck, where do you live?
Or here when I'm, working. I live near downtown Los Angeles.
Okay.
I've got a beautiful view of the downtown LA skyline. It's great. I love it. And hold on, I got to switch camera angles here. I have a roommate that I've known for 30 years. We're old friends, and I went to live in Las Vegas for about 6-9 months, something like that, not very long, and decided it was too hot. Just wait till summer.
I can tell you it's too humid here.
But anyway, so I called my friend and I said, I really think I gotta. He's like, oh, I got the room available. So, went ahead and moved back in.
One of our chatters says Daniel lives at Hard Times.
Yeah, they know that for sure too. We need a ref, huh? Which hit is he looking at here? Oh, Barbara. He's checking out a hit on table 2, and then he'll be back. Chat room saying, "Come on, Jim." Jim says, "I won't play good for you. Who are you to ask me to play good?" All right, Jim's sitting down, and Ozzy comes back, says, "My work is done here."
That was an interesting situation.
I saw that over there, yeah.
A player fouled, ran into the wrong ball. That wrong ball got tied up, and she wanted to move it back where it was.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting. Barbara, she goes on the WPBA events. I don't know who she's playing. And Jim here, I'm sorry to say, is not playing like he wants to win right now.
Would you like me to go find out who Swanee?
Although this was a good safety. Or was it a safety?
Nah, he was shooting for that ball.
He was going for it.
By the way, anybody out there in Streamland, if you'd like to get in contact with me for any reason whatsoever, you can reach me at ozzy@playcsipool.com. Pretty easy to remember.
Ozzy is CSI.com.
Playcsipool.com. Yep. Or admin@actionpooltour.com.
Action Pool Tour. I was going to actually bring that up too.
All right, Jim may actually erase that goose egg. You West Coast guys know what a goose egg is, right?
Sorry, what?
You West Coast guys know what a goose egg is, right?
In what context?
That big 0 he's got on the scoreboard, that's a goose egg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what though, Ozzy? Here on the West Coast, we don't call them goose eggs. We call them snake eyes.
I don't see a lot of skunks. But when I do, it's with Dos Equis.
Johnny, Oscar, table 17. Johnny and Oscar, table 17.
Now, I think I just heard Oscar Dominguez's name called. If that's the case, that means they're back on the winner's side.
Oh, absolutely.
Calling matches.
And Oscar's just moving back now. He's been up in Philly for like 5 months. He's got a girlfriend, and he's been pretty active back east. He's won, did he win 2 back-to-backs?
Well, he won my tournament back in December, the East Coast 9-ball championship.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, Oscar.
That had a first place prize of $4,000, I believe.
That's a good payout.
Not a bad payday, and all it took him.
And that was an Action Pool Tour event?
It was an Action Pool Tour event. You had to qualify. Called me, so I'll go embarrass myself, and I'll be back a little bit later.
Hey, Ozzy, it's great talking to you. When something more high profile comes along, let's get you back in too. Ozzy Reynolds, good luck in your match. Yeah. Good luck in your match, sir.
I'm going to give this charger back. It doesn't seem to be.
Yeah. Get your money back, too, while you're at it.
It's nice of him, but it's not working.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you're all right. You're all right. As long as you know I'm not totally responsible for it. For the most part, you're all right. I leave a lot of stuff back here. Good luck to Ozzy Reynolds. I don't know who he's playing, but hopefully he won't get played. Seems like a real nice guy. And Henessey gets on the board. And what do we got going on here? You're on the board, buddy. The table's got me thrown, he just said. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
And this is where basic fundamentals come into play.
Well, look, if I was him at this point, if I was playing bad, I would. Oh, I didn't notice the one was there, and I thought he had a 2-9, billiard that he could have played, but I guess not. He still had to hit the one, yeah. He was trying to kick the one. And he just gave up ball in hand. He's struggling all right. Well, this is going to be. I don't really see. I don't have high hopes for Jim in this match at this point, but this is probably going to be one of Stacy's easier matches. I don't know who she played before this, but it's always nice to be able to play on a table like this and. Kind of feel like you can let your arm out a little bit,
Danny and Gary, table 20.
Daniel, I heard that once you get a table dialed in, that the rest can be very easy.
Sorry?
I said I've heard from some of the pros in hard times today that when you get a table dialed in, that the rest can be easy, or can it work against you?
I don't think you should ever take anything for granted, and in a short race, it's easy to catch a gear, but gears don't last forever,
Right.
I think when you become, you can become confident when you're playing somebody that boosts your confidence because they keep missing and you feel like, oh, they're just going to give me another shot, I'm okay, and you start to become more confident.
very nice kick on the 4.
Yeah.
Had she made it, she would have had good shape on the 5.
Yeah, but do you see the shot before, how thinly he hit that 4? I mean, like,
He was trying to jump and make contact.
yeah.
Dark Mark and Manny, table 8. Dark, Mark.
Jim's just rattled. He's rattled by this table. He really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe he just missed that 5.
Well, you know,
Did that just happen?
Yes, it did. You know, that's been happening with a lot of players. They were going for the 9 in that exact same corner where the 5 is. It has went in and came out, and in some cases, just hung in the pocket.
Ah, good man. Space Brother has just entered the building. Nice to see you, Space Brother. How you doing? Well, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that we took that half an hour off to fix those issues that we were having on the computer. So it looks like, barring any surprises, we are back on track as far as a seamless live stream for the rest of the weekend. And I want to thank Sharkin once again. For his assistance and for the short recess that we had to take to fix the computer stuff going on.
Gerardo Mito and Jimmy Milazzo, table 24. Gerardo and Jimmy, table 24.
Oh, I don't know where the cue ball's going, ma'am. She's all right.
You know, Daniel, I'm very happy to tell you that POVPOOL is 10 times better than the action report.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. Look, I'm going to have to correct you because the action report is one of my inspirations. So I don't think it's better. I don't think it's totally different. It's totally different.
Shop and Evans, table 2.
Every time that
So,
every time that I listen to you, though, it comes out very clear, and there's no problems.
Are you sure you're not getting us mixed up?
No, believe me.
I think you are.
Believe me, POVPOOL has been #1 ever since I started listening to you.
All right. Well, look. Can we promise not to compare any? This is just not. It's like comparing NBC to CBS. I don't want to do it that way. It's just not. You know.
Okay.
You know. I think it's all good, and I'm real sad that Tara's going away like this. You know.
Oh, I didn't.
He's going to be all right though.
And Stacy Novack just
Justin
won her
and Mark,
match.
they'll be fine. Awesome, awesome. Turbo Draw. Just to answer your question real quick about the Kamui tip vouchers that I sent out to you. If you are having any problem finding a Kamui certified Kamui tip dealer to. Okay, good. I need Jay Helfert.
I'll go get
I need Jay Helfert.
I'll go get him.
No,
Because he's over there. And I'm headed
Okay.
that way.
Can one of you guys get Jay Helford for me? I don't want Chico to get up and he's in a wheelchair. Okay. All right, so call the number on the back of the voucher. It is 1877, I believe. Go Kamui, and John Bertone of Kamui Tips will find you a certified Kamui tip dealer. Just to answer your question very quickly, Stacy Novack and Jim Henessey, this match is over. Congratulations to Stacy Novack, who defeats Jim 6-1, and he's still licking his wounds over there. Maybe he should join Bacon in the parking lot. And I'm going to find Jerry Matchin as well, and we're going to bring Jerry Matchin to the stage in lieu of Bacon to commentate with Jay Helfert. And we're going to have Ernesto Dominguez. Ernesto versus who? Mika Immonen. And in fact, that's going to be a good match because Ernesto beat Mika on this table in the first Sunday tournament just on the 1st of the month. And it was a race to 6. Grudge match. Shantanta. Hey, and I want to thank Too Slow For Me for doing the brackets. Click the link at the top of the chat room for the as live as we can get brackets. Too Slow For Me, you rock. And I don't know how you coordinated that, but you're amazing.